Whoa. Whoa, what's this? Oh, this is different. Whoa. I didn't get this the first time I loaded the game up. Okay, that really... Root? Whoa! Okay. Well, might as well do my intro here. Hello everybody, welcome to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. When I first opened this game, this didn't happen, so I'm just as confused as you are, but this is exciting because this is my first look at the new content. So, I'm just gonna put a disclaimer up here. Yes, I have seen the original game. I do know what it's about, I know what's happening, but I don't think that really affects it because I just want to experience this game again. I love it so much. Doki Doki Literature Club is one of my favorite games for a lot of reasons, but I want to revisit the characters and I'm just so excited! Okay, let's look at pictures first of all. Oh, look at this! Oh, I can set wallpapers! Oh, that's cool. Aww. I like how they just say the protagonist. Well, I'm gonna set my background as Sayori, because I like her. She's one of my favorites. I mean, I always have trouble choosing a favorite because they're all my favorite, but ha, look at her. That makes me happy. Oh, I'm not gonna listen to these yet because I would kind of want to come across them in the game. Error? What do you mean error? Okay, well, settings? Oh, yeah, one thing I should point out, when I first opened this game, it told me that I could review some content warnings, which I'm pretty sure was not in the original game. I'm pretty sure they just said, hey, this game's disturbing. We're not gonna tell you how, though. It's scary. Okay, is this? Yay! Oh, that's the music that makes me happy. That's the music that gets me smiling. Doki Doki! Yeah! Woohoo! Doki Doki Literature Club Plus! Oh, man. This is so nostalgic. I don't even remember when the game first came out, but I fell in love with it. This is one of my favorite games of all time, I think. So we're just gonna jump right in and experience this all over again. The dream, the nightmare. Hey! I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl's Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I love that this is the first portrait we get in the game. Like, Sayori all out of breath with her tiny, tiny hands and her cow emoji looking face. So good. I overslept again. But I caught you this time. I instantly forgot I set my name to Roro. I was like, I don't want to put my actual name in there because, like, I don't want them to talk directly to me just yet. I want to see if they can pull that information from my computer, but Roro is the dumbest name. No one calls me that. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That face. That's mean, bro. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. I could be pretty mean, but I could never be mean to Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Roro, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did, in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go on with whatever she's going on about. Dude, that is mean. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me, but I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average or spending my free time on games and anime. Wow, it's like I'm there. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. My god. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I'd die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Is that new dialogue? Alright, alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. You'll at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Aww. Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. I wonder if they did change much of the main story, because I know they added a bunch of stuff, but I'm curious if they changed the base game a lot. Like, probably not too much, but... let's not speculate, let's just go. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. Oh, I should say, I saw the trailer, but nothing else. I've been trying to be as blind to this as possible. Like, as blind as I can be to a game that I've played before. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Dude, don't join the anime club! I joined an anime club once in my life and it was a mistake. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. Yeah, no shit, honey, look at all these empty desks. I thought I'd catch you coming out the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if I'm gonna make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know. Aw, she's all blushy. No, what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There is no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. I don't know how to say that sound, man. It's not natural to my English-speaking sensibilities. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it'd be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title Vice President. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Don't go to the anime club! Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I'd bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. But those are the best kind. Spider-Man. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's so cunning as to have planned all this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine. I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes! Let's go! This would work with me too, man. Like, sugar is guaranteed way into my heart. If you give me snacks, I would die for you. Like, no question. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, the section of the school I rarely visit. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone! The new member is here! I told you, don't call me a new member. Huh? I glance around the room. Oh, hi Yuri. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Oh no, I'm gonna have to come up with voices for everyone. Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Aurora, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club. It's full of incredibly cute girls, and they're all looking at me. That is actually a little uncomfortable. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Stop looking at me with their big old eyes. If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student, even though apparently they're all 18, which is like final year in high school, right? She's... Oh yeah, I don't think I recorded it, but like when I started up the game, there's a new disclaimer, which is like, all characters in this game are over the age of 18. And I was like, I know that wasn't in the original game. I know it wasn't. Kinda shady, but what can you do? She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back to the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Also, she's really tall. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monika, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Roro. Monika smiles sweetly and does a little hip movement that probably hurts. We do know each other. Well, rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monika was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, capable of yoga, basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monika. Come sit down, Roro. You made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monika. Which table? They're all tiny desks. I'll get the cupcakes. Okay, cool. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to forge a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monika and one space next to Sayori. Wait, I need a save. Oh, I didn't save. Oh, it's an autosave. Okay. I'm gonna... I guess I have to use an empty slot? Okay. Return. Just because I don't know if they're gonna throw new choices at me out of nowhere, so I'm gonna save pretty frequently. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Wah! Natsuki lifts the foil of the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. Question! People who bring baked goods into school, how on earth do you not mess them up in transit? Because I have to catch the bus. Do you know how hard it is to carry baked goods on a bus? My god! The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monika. I follow. Where's Yuri? Is she here? It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Unfortunately, I do this too. I ate the cake first and remove the icing with my finger like a feral little gremlin. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. I like eating the icing last, okay? It's the best bit. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. Huh? I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe, but not for you, you know? Not for, you, dummy. Alright. Give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Good call. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. Why didn't we wait for her? She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. It's good etiquette to wait for everyone to be present before you start chowing down on the baked goods, man. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. That's true. I'm glad. I say as a literature student. I didn't read all the books this semester, don't tell anyone. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monika raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was forced into it. I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monika I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monika, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? That sounds like a bad club. Debate, like, that just sounds boring. Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. Feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. Give me 1 second. Cool. Sorry, I had to check my recording. I can't see anything going on in the background, so for a moment I was struck with the fear that I wasn't actually recording. We're good though. Feels like nothing but arguing about the budget. Okay. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monika really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. Must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting all that effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it! Everyone enthusiastically agree. Oh, look at him. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monika must have worked really hard to find these three. Maybe that's why they're all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. But I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Roro, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, good question. Assigned texts, horror, jeez, I don't know, man. How do you even word that? Mostly the classics that I've been missing out on. Considering how little I've read the past few years. Dude, I've read more in the past few years than I've read in my entire life. I've read, like, at least 10 novels. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm not good at reading. Considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I muttered quietly to myself, half joking. That's not wrong either. I've been reading Berserk. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her confident in the world of books, not people. Yuri, you should try writing a book. I feel like you'd be really good at it, if you can, like, appreciate the craftsmanship and stuff. I'm better at writing than I am reading, sometimes. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Kind of a mouthful of a sentence, but anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I did. I desperately grasped something I could relate to at a minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Yeah, that's why I love horror. Horror is like one of those genres that can explore all kinds of stuff that, like, other genres can't really touch. Like, you never know how a horror story is going to end, you know? Like, It would be completely natural for nothing to resolve at all as much as it would be for everything to resolve, which is something a lot of genres don't really have. Like, in a mystery novel, you have to solve the mystery. In a horror, you don't. You can just leave that hanging forever. And that's how you think about it forever. You're like, well, what happened? Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I hate horror. Oh? Why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud! And give that back! Fine, fine. Your cupcakes, your poems. Everything you do is just as cute as you are. She really did. Zuri sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you're right, you're the face. It took me a moment to hit me, but those eyes are always funny. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Yeah, well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Absolutely true. No matter what I do, I always end up writing about my own issues. Always. Like, even if it's subliminally, like, I'm gonna write fantasy. Oops. No, I didn't. I wrote a metaphor. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I want to read everyone's poems. You'll sit in silence for a moment. Okay. I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah! Let's do it! Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bonds of the club. Isn't that right, Roro? Don't call me that! Oh, choosing that name was a mistake. Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club! Saori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with sad eyes, except for Natsuki, who's, like, contemplating murder. But... I'm sorry, I thought... Roro, oh no, they're all sinking with sadness! Y'all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one. Well, they all did it at the exact same time, but sure, their eyes light up. Yes! I'm so happy! That was bad. Sorry, wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Oh, that's cute. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I hope he's super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Glad to be here. Monika, you're blocking Natsuki! You're like butt bumping her out of the picture. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone? Why'd I say it like that? I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. And save. We're gonna have to write some poems. Monika looks over at me once more. Roro, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I'm okay at writing poetry, but only about parasites. I'll explain that later. I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, Roro, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? What, is club over already? That was fast. That's right, Sarah and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! Aww. Here we go. The two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? This reminds me of that, Rhythm Heaven Gang, Glee club, where, like, you had a bunch of people lined up. Just because, like, Monica's the only one facing me, and she's just like, I'm waiting to respond to the rhythm cue, Roro. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Yes! Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Or perhaps multiple? Alright, I just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Save! Yes! Okay. We're not even gonna talk to Sayori? Okay. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do this minigame multiple times. Firstly, I want to click all these tabs, see if anything happens. Click, click. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I actually want to try something with this. I'm gonna romance each of these girls and try, because I want to get the good ending, right? Where you unlock all the images before the point of no return. So I'm gonna eventually romance each of the girls. But what I want to do with this minigame is I want to actually write a poem with the words that I choose. So I'm just gonna choose words I like in this first run and then come back to it. So let's go misfortune. Sayori, come on! Melancholy. Clouds. Hurt. Sayori, come on! Stop it! Doki Doki. Whoa. Contamination. I like that word. Graveyard. Melody. Wonderful. Memories. Marriage. Oh, it should have been forgive, damn it. How about Festa? Together. Embrace. Sensation. Raindrops. I like the word ambient. Uncanny! Oh. Yo, Doki Doki Poetry Slam! Cool. Precious. Spinning. Flying. And eternity. So it looks like it's either Sayori or Yuri. Those are some good words. I'm gonna write a poem out of those later. And new slot. I don't know who I managed to impress, but we're gonna go down their route first. Hi again, Roro. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. Oh hey, I've never really been able to see the posters in the background before. Have they always had stuff on them? I feel like they were blank before. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Roro. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sorry told me he didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year too. I don't know if you just plan to come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Which is a very weird thing to say, really. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monika and manga. Also, did Monika just run off? She's like, manga's cringe. Okay, bye. Alright, manga's literature! Safely defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Forever always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Yuri, please don't get any ideas! I'm not gonna be a house husband. Zeri, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Rara can become good friends too. Sayori, we don't know each other yet. Oh, she's doing that on purpose. I can tell. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into, even though she definitely planned that. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori? Me? Not really. I was just lying because I wanted to make Sayori jealous. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? Oh, I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. God, she is fucking suffering. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag, which I guess is behind her back, and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. I love novellas. Mwah! So good to analyze because it's really compressed. There's no filler. You won't find any filler in short stories. Love it. Someone had an idea, they're like, bah, 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 and now you can read it. Fantastic. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. Dude, I would love to discuss books. I never get to discuss books that I read because no one reads the same thing that I read at the same time. Like, my friend Siobhan, who's appeared on this channel before, like, they're the other big reader. But, like, we are almost never reading the same books. Like, we're always like, oh, dude, you should read this. And then we're like, yeah! And then we forget to do it. It's like, damn it! Well, it's mostly me, because I'm like, I would read it, but I'm super busy doing watching cat videos on YouTube. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Dude, I love getting people to pick up books I like. It's like, yes, wait till you get to that bit. You're gonna come in and you're gonna be so devastated. You're gonna be like, oh, Rowan, why'd you make me read this? And I'll be like, idiot. Why did you trust me, moron? Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monika to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monika are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. I'm getting nervous, so I'm gonna save again. I have 6 save slots, so it should be fine. Meanwhile, Natsuki's rummaging around the closet. Moment of truth, who do I get? Man. Looks like no one wants to be bothered today. I slumped down I think it's Sayori. I slumped down the nearest desk. How am I supposed to occupy myself with something literature related by myself like this? I guess I could always read some of the book Yuri gave me. But I'm feeling a little too tired to read. I could probably fall asleep right now. Yep, Sayori. Close my eyes and end up listening in on Sayori's conversation with Monika. We're probably gonna seem really lame compared to all the other clubs though. Well, we can't give up. The festival's our chance to show everyone what literature is all about. Reading. The problem is that the idea of a literature club sounds too dense and intellectual. It doesn't have to be, that's the thing. Like, literature is anything that's a book. Like, ugh. Literature elitists, I hate them, but yeah, I'm not gonna be able to articulate my thoughts in a video game about girls and their Doki Doki, so let me just, I'll save that rant for later. But it's not like that at all, you know? We just need a way of showing that to everyone. Something that speaks to their creative minds. That doesn't solve the problem, though. Huh? What do you mean? Even if we come up with the most fun thing ever, nobody will come in the first place if it's a literature event. So it's more important to figure out how to get people to show up in the first place, you know? And after they come, we can do the thing that speaks to their do the thing to speak to their creative minds. What's this? Sarah's taking this really seriously. Good for her. It's rare to hear her deliberating like this. Huh, that's a good point. In that case, do you think food will do the trick? What kind? Oh, that got her attention. Well, I guess we could... Cupcakes! Good thinking. Natsuki would love to do that. You're right. Natsuki makes the best cupcakes. That works out perfectly. That wasn't why you suggested it? Cupcakes speak to my creative tummy. Cupcakes it is, then. I'm hungry. Anyway, we still need to work out the details of the event itself. Is this new dialogue, by the way? Because I don't remember this. I find myself smiling. In the end, Sayori is still her usual self. But therein lies the unexpected reason I admire her. Unlike me, who has trouble finding any motivation at all. Sayori can put her mind to things and make them come to life. I love Sayori, man! I suppose that's why I end up letting her get on my case about things. I can't help but wonder what it'd be like to see the world through her eyes. Ah! Jeez! I opened my eyes to find Sayori's face filling my vision. I nearly fell out of my chair. Sorry. Wait! Actually, I'm not sorry at all! It's your fault for sleeping like that. This isn't the napping club. Does our school have a napping club? You're staying up late again, aren't you? Now that you're in a club, you're gonna have less time for anime, you know? I'm sorry, my natural sleep cycle is 2 a.m. to 11 2 a.m. to 11 a.m. Shut up, I can't do maths. Now that you're in a club, you're gonna have less time for anime, you know? You'll need to get used to it. Don't say that so loud. Glance over my shoulder to see if Monica overheard. Dude, she can't know I watch Dragon Ball Z. She can't know I'm a big fan of Vegeta. It's true though. Yeah, I know. You're always looking out for me, Sayori. It's what I do best. That's a problem. What about you? You look out for me better than you look out for yourself. You're still oversleeping every day, aren't you? Not every day. That's not very convincing. How many days this past week have you gotten up on time? It's a secret. I knew it. Come on, I'm just a little guy and it's my birthday. You wouldn't hit a little birthday boy on his birthday. At least give me the benefit of the doubt. I can't even do that. Look, Sayori, it's written all over you. Huh? Sayori glances around at herself. How is it written all over me? You're clearly in a rush this morning. Look, your hair is sticking out all around here. Dude, don't be mean to her. I run my fingertips down the side of Sayori's hair, trying to straighten it out, and then I kiss her. Like, seriously, don't do this shit unless you're... Man, you really need a brush for this. My hair is just really hard to get right. Really? It seems like it shouldn't be. It's like one of the simplest hairstyles in the world. I won't fall for that. It's more than just your hair. Look, your bow isn't straight either. And there's a toothpaste stain on your collar here. Is that what that is? I think that's just a shine. I try to wipe off the stain with my finger. But nobody would ever notice that. Of course they would. Nobody's gonna tell you about it because they don't want to embarrass you. Dude, don't say that! Fortunately, I don't really care about that, despite the fact that I'm lecturing you on it. Hey, you meanie. And you don't even keep your blazer buttoned up. Only nerds button up their blazer, idiot! Seriously, Sayori. Dude, Roro, what are you, a knock? Why do you think you don't have a boyfriend? Bruh. Huh? That's super mean. Sorry, but you'll thank me later. I start to button her blazer from the bottom. Once you see how much better it looks, you'll change your mind. Oh my god. This is so funny. What is? Well, I was just thinking how weird it is to have a friend who does these kinds of things. Yeah, it is a little bit weird. Huh? Don't say that. You'll make me feel weird about it, stupid. How? I'm trying to like look at this picture and I can't quite figure out how tall I am. Like it's a weird angle. It's a weird, it's like a fisheye lens. Like Zori's about to snap and start killing people. It's okay though. I'm happy we're like this. Aren't you? I guess. Hey, be careful. The button might come off. Why is this one so hard to close? Dude, it should be obvious. I struggled to fully close the button near her chest. Does the thing even fit you properly? It did when I bought it. Ugh. If you ever buttoned it, you would have noticed sooner that it doesn't fit you anymore. What are you smiling about? It means my boobs got bigger again. A normal thing to say. Actually, you know what? Having said that, I was like, you know, girls don't say that shit. But then I was like, yeah, they do. In primary school, one of my friends had one of those conversations with me, and I was like, cool, can I leave? I don't want to talk about this. Don't say that out loud. Anyway, my thoughts exactly. Roro gets me. You look much better now, so... why does it feel strange to see Sayori's blazer buttoned up like that? But it's so stuffy. Ugh. It's not worth it at all. Sayori hastily unbuttons her blazer once more. Good, now you don't look- now- you don't look like a cop. Oh, thank God. Phew! That's so much better. Now the artists don't have to do a buttoned up blazer portrait for me. Sayori puts her arms out and twirls around. So if I keep it unbuttoned, then I won't get a boyfriend, right? What kind of logic is that? Why are you saying that like it's a good thing? Because... I'm Lebanese! I thought you were American. Okay. If I had a boyfriend, then he wouldn't even let you do things like this. Well, not necessarily. Maybe not all boyfriends are like that. And you take better care of me than anyone else would anyway. So that's why I'm keeping it unbuttoned. Stop saying all these embarrassing things! Huh? I didn't say anything embarrassing. Jeez. Well, anyway, just focus on trying to wake up a little earlier. Only if you focus on going to bed earlier. Fine, fine. It's a deal. It's not. I will never stop. I guess we really are better at taking care of each other than we are at taking care of ourselves. Yeah, I guess so, huh? So maybe you should come wake me up in the morning. You're doing it again, Sayori. Oh, but I was joking that time. Man, it's impossible to tell with you sometimes. Okay, everyone. Monika suddenly calls out. Why don't we share the poems we wrote now? Yay! Roro, I can't wait to read yours. Yeah, same. I failed to sound enthusiastic, but Sayori still trots away to retrieve her poem. Serve! By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah, how could I forget? It was yesterday. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. Couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monika enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monika wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monika's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Okay. I really don't know where the new scenes will be, so I'm scared to do any choices. I don't know. Maybe they'll just add an extra day or something? I don't know. Let's do Sayori. I'm definitely most comfortable sharing it with Sayori first. She's my good friend, after all. Look at her face. Oh my goodness! This is so good, Roro! Huh? I love it! Whenever I read the like, no matter what I'm playing, I always want to do the Zim, like, what? when you... I'm so sorry. I had no idea he was such a good writer. Sayori, you must be seriously overreacting. I'm not a good writer at all. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. Well, no writer does. Maybe that's why. Because I have no idea what I like either. Jeez. I'm sure Yuri's opinion has to be a little more constructive than this. Maybe even Natsuki's. Are you sure you don't like it just because I wrote it? Eh? Well, I'm sure that's part of it. I think I understand you better than a lot of people, you know? So when I read you a poem, it's not just a poem. It's a Roro poem! Aww, Sayori. And that makes it feel extra special. Like I can feel your feelings in it. Sayori hugs the sheet against her chest. Hey, I need that back. You're so weird, Sayori. I'm really happy that you just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Roro. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people. That's something only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That'll be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Oh, I love this poem actually. Oh, they put the button there now. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Cute. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above. The sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. I'm gonna say here, I spent a lot of time like looking over these poems and trying to like find the meanings of this. This is a depression poem. Like, it's not obvious, but like, the sunshine, the way I interpret it, sunshine is the player character. And it's like, if this person wasn't here, then she'd sleep forever. Like, she's oversleeping all the time. And it's like, you know, if I didn't have you, I wouldn't have a reason to get up in the morning. But I know you miss me, so, or at least I feel like you do, so, you know, gotta get up. And she wants breakfast. Pretty deep. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Sorry, we're birds of a feather, you and I. The number of times I've done stuff like 10 minutes before the deadline. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast! Even though you were late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever! Well, I guess I look forward to it. Woo! Yay! We did it. We talked to Sayori. Let's go. Natsuki. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. that's a little blunt. Well, excuse me, princess. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically it's not cute enough for your tastes? Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. What's with the hostile mood? Ugh. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. I do actually like this poem. People always rag on this, but I think it's a good poem. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. But that's about it. Like, exactly how she explains it. Like, I was kind of nonplussed at first. Also, I love how the music changes for every character. But, like, yeah, like, she explains it better than me. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly! I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Oh god, what'd I do? Okay. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. I do. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro! I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but considering they're all 18 now. But if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Who should I show my poem to next? Yuri. Oh, she doesn't like it. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh! Sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine. Don't force yourself. Urishinai. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I've written a couple poems in my lifetime, and the first one I wrote sucked. It was bad. But I wrote it, and that's the important thing. I guess that it might be after reading through it. So it's that bad. No! Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. Yuri, it's okay. I'm not gonna... I don't bite. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we haven't really gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. Was that a record scratch? I thought I heard that. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I've recognized in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her trail of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Whoops, I didn't do that. Stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice, learning by example, and trying new things. I think one of those ands could have gone missing. I think you just need one and at the end of the sentence. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. So far I haven't really gotten any, but that's okay. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read you a poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Look, she's so excited. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Oh my god. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm. Breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. You know, not my favourite poem. I think Yuri's writing style is not one of my favourites because I'm kind of in Natsuki's camp of not really liking stuff that feels kind of fake deep. Like, but I do think, technically speaking, this is a pretty good poem. It's just not my style, personally. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. Honest. But it took you a long time to read. Yes, because I was talking to my viewers about how much I hate it. I mean, well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Huh? That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it was short, it was really descriptive. Boy. That is exactly the kind of feedback you get from people who don't write. Like, it's like, oh yeah, it was good. Yeah, good. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I want to write something a little more mild. Yeah, I think that's part of why I don't like the poem as much as our later ones, because it doesn't really feel like it's about anything. And I know there's like, she explains the metaphor in a second, but it still feels a little bit like wishy-washy. Like, the meaning doesn't jump out at me. It's not like, oh, I'm not explaining this well, but like it just doesn't land for me. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just talking. Since our first time yeah, okay. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Hoo-hoo! Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Roro. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. Like, I get it, but something about delivery, I hadn't even thought about that. Don't get me wrong, I think Yuri's a good writer. I do. It's just that one, it's something a kid would write, you know? Like, no, they are kids. For her age, that's a damn good poem, okay? 18 is young to be writing good poetry. It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Right, Monica. What a choice. Hi, Roro. Having a good time so far? Yeah? Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. Much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Yeah, you do. Share it. Don't worry, Roro. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. I like step behind her and put it into her hands that are clasped behind her back. I like this one. It makes me think of something Sayori would like. Is that so? You and Sayori are really good friends, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you had those sorts of things in common. Well... You may be good friends, but Sayori and I are actually really different. Well, that may be the case. But maybe there are also some similarities that you wouldn't expect. The way she talks about you. It sounds like the two of you really care about each other's well-being. Yeah, that's how friends work. Also, I'm pretty sure the apostrophe in each other's should go after the S. But it's no big deal. I mean, I didn't even notice stuff like that. Even if you show it in different ways, it ends up being more similar than you think. So I think that's the kind of vibe I get while reading your poem. You sure you're not reading into it too much? I could be. Oh gosh, I sound like Yuri. But in any case, Sayori's writing has a kind of gentle feel to it. I can tell that she likes exploring with emotions, like happiness and sadness. Who knew that someone with so happy would enjoy sad things too? Yeah, that's totally unexpected. Not really. Most of us are, you know, people with thoughts and emotions. Well, to each their own. And you shouldn't be afraid to experiment it a little bit either. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. Could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Right? Yeah. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. It doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. This is one of my favorite, first round poems. I love Monika's writing. It's probably the closest to my own style. I just like that kind of freeform. Anyway, hole and wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with the permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. So, people who've played this game before know what this is about, right? The hole in the wall is the hole in the screen. But, I just love this poem. It's so cool. I presume, a spackle is, the direction that a hole has been made. So it's, she didn't make the hole. But, that's really interesting in terms of lore implications, right? Because it's, this implies that she didn't make herself sentient. She just saw something that was unexpectedly left there, a fault in the code. Isn't that weird? I feel like no one really talks about this. Why is Monika sentient? Why? What does it mean? And also, just the imagery of, looking into a hole that is, just a hole in your own home that is, infinitely deep, and then seeing someone looking back at you. Whoa. Scary shit. I love it, though. Good, it's good surreal horror. So, what do you think? Fucking love it, Monika! It's very freeform, if that's what you would call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. Clearly not! It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style's gotten pretty popular nowadays. Thanks, Mr. E.E. Cummings. I'm pretty sure that's his name. If I'm thinking of the right dude, I'll put up some poems on the screen because he's got some funny stuff. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. She's absolutely right. Many a whip, a work in progress, has been left abandoned because I'm such a perfectionist. I'm always like, oh, this bit sounds bad, but it's like, dude, you gotta write the whole thing or it's never happening. Oh, jeez. Thanks for listening. Phew. And with that, we're gonna end this episode here because it's been an hour, or a bit more than that. I didn't have a timer on screen, so I'm just guesstimating. But oh my god, it's so nice to revisit Doki Doki Literature Club. As I said, one of my favorite games. I love literature. I love creative game design, and I love the story. Like, even before everything goes to shit, like, you know, the characters are so engaging and charming. Like, even though they are kind of like stereotypes, they're still engaging in a way, and that's really impressive to me. Like, and shoutouts to Team Salvato for putting so much work into this. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like it and want to support this channel, check out my Ko-fi and Patreon. I put the links in the description. And donate or tip me if you can. Really, every bit counts. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye!